G'day, it's fugitive Australian journalist Shane Dowling from the website and YouTube channel Kangaroo Court of Australia. Now, I'm about to play you a video of Federal Attorney General Mark Dreyfus lying and deceiving the Federal Parliament in relation to the National Anti-Corruption Commission. Then I'm going to read out an article I published a couple of days ago in relation to Federal MP Helen Haines upsetting voters by pushing propaganda in relation to the National Anti-Corruption Commission. Now, the National Anti-Corruption Commission turned 12 months on Monday. And on Tuesday, the 2nd of July 2024, Mark Dreyfus was asked a Dorothy Dixer. That's a pre-organised question by someone from his own party. So he's got a pre-organised answer. And he talked up the National Anti-Corruption Commission. But there's three key things I want you to keep an eye out for when I play the video. And the first is he makes no mention of the fact that the National Anti-Corruption Commission is itself under investigation for alleged corruption. 2, he talks up the fact that the National Anti-Corruption Commission can have public hearings. Well, that's a lie, and he knows it's a lie because it can only have public hearings in exceptional circumstances, and they deliberately put that criteria in there to muzzle it so the public don't know what's happening. Then he attacks the Liberal Party for claiming they'd have a National Anti-Corruption Commission back in 2018, and they never delivered, he said. And he said, look, but you can trust Labor, they deliver. Well, that's a lie because anyone who's following the National Anti-Corruption Commission knows it's a toothless tiger. Anyhow, let's watch the video.
The call to the member for Higgins.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. My question is to the Attorney-General. How has the Albanese Labor government's delivery of the National Anti-Corruption Commission helped to improve integrity in government after a decade of inaction?
Good question.
Call to the Attorney-General.
Thank you, Mr Speaker, and I do thank the member for Higgins for her question, and I congratulate the 85,000 taxpayers in her electorate of Higgins who will benefit from the Albanese government's tax cuts. At the last election, the Australian Labor Party listened. We listened to the Australian people who told us that they wanted to restore truth, integrity, honesty and accountability to government. We promised we'd deliver a National Anti-Corruption Commission without delay, and we did. It is 1 year since the establishment of the National Anti-Corruption Commission. The Commission's tasked with detecting, investigating and preventing corruption across the Commonwealth public sector. We said it would have a broad jurisdiction, and it does. We said it would be able to receive referrals from anyone, and it can. We said it would have strong statutory oversight, and it does. We said it would have retrospective powers, and it does. We said it would have the power to hold public hearings, to make findings of fact and operate with robust procedural fairness, and it does. And most importantly, we said it would be independent of government, and it is. Only the Commission can decide what it investigates. Designing the Commission this way was a deliberate choice. It is the best way of ensuring that the Commission maintains its independence. And of course, the independence of this Commission is critical to its success. In its first 12 months, the Commission has received 3,154 referrals. It's conducting 26 corruption investigations and overseeing or monitoring a further 21 investigations by other agencies. Those opposite, of course, also committed to establishing an Integrity Commission. The former Prime Minister Scott Morrison stood up with the former Attorney-General Christian Porter at the end of 2018 and promised a National Anti-Corruption Commission, and they broke their promise. You can't trust those on the other side to mean what they say. You can't trust those on the other side to deliver on what matters to Australians, and you can't trust their priorities. This side of the House is focused on what matters. Yesterday, tax cuts were delivered for every Australian taxpayer. A $300 discount on energy bills was delivered for every Australian household. That's how you deliver cost of living relief, not by pushing up power prices with nuclear reactors. We have our priorities right, we listen to Australians and we deliver on our commitments.
So that was the Federal Attorney-General Mark Dreyfus deliberately lying and deceiving the Parliament in relation to the National Anti-Corruption Commission. You can see the politicians behind him. They knew he was lying and deceiving the Parliament. The Liberal Party and the National Party, they know he's lying and deceiving the Parliament as well. But they're all shutting their mouths because it's a conspiracy. They've set up a dodgy National Anti-Corruption Commission to cover up corruption, not to investigate it, to cover it up. Anyhow, on the Thursday, the 4th of July, 2024, I published an article titled Federal Independent MP Helen Haines upsets voters by pushing government propaganda for the corrupt Knack. Federal Independent MP Helen Haines received a lot of negative feedback after she decided to promote on social media the National AntiCorruption Commission, Knack, celebrating its first year of operation. The problem is that the highest profile corruption investigation the Knack is currently doing is into itself, and likely is Commissioner Paul Brereton for alleged corruption. The Knack released a statement on the 6th of the 6th, 24, saying the Knack would not investigate 6 people that had been referred to the Knack for alleged corruption by the Robo-Debt Royal Commissioner Catherine Holmes. One of the 6 included Knack Commissioner Paul Brereton's good friend, Catherine Campbell. It was a blatant cover-up by the Knack. On the 13th of June 2024, the Inspector of the National Anti-Corruption Commission, Gail Furness SC, announced that she will investigate the Knack for alleged corrupt conduct regarding the Robo-Debt cover-up. The Knack has a lot more problems as well, with the Knack Commissioner Paul Brereton exposed protecting his mates in the ADF, including Governor-General David Hurley, from war crimes in a government report published on the 16th of May 2024. The Knack already had a credibility problem given the government lied to the public about having public hearings, and all hearings are now secret except in exceptional circumstances, which is not what the current government promised voters before the 2022 election. Given the above, it is bordering on scandalous for Helen Haines to go on social media and boast about the good work the Knack is doing, as per below, and talk about how it is just the start of restoring public trust in federal politics. Now, Helen Haines tweeted on Monday the 1st of July, "Today marks 1 year of the Knack beginning its important work. This was a huge achievement that belongs to everyone who demanded better from their elected representatives, everyone who voted for integrity, and everyone who told me to not give up the fight." In another tweet, she says, "I kept the pressure up and held the government to account, and I am proud to continue this work as Deputy Chair of the Knack Oversight Committee. Since July last year, the Knack has received 3,154 referrals and is conducting 26 investigations into corruption. This is just the start of restoring public trust in federal politics." The replies from the voters didn't hold back, and I'll read you out some of the replies Helen Haines received in that tweet that she posted. One reply is from Maureen Doyle, and it says, "You can't be serious, Helen. It is an abomination. Every crooked thing the government has done is covered up by the Knack. We hope for transparency, but what we got is an inefficient, secretive cable of shady characters who hide the truth. I was an ALP, lifelong voter, never again." And Maureen also says in another tweet, "Who are you trying to convince, Helen? I don't know a single person who has any faith in your Knack. You should be ashamed of trying to showcase the biggest failure in society today. Nobody has any faith in what you are doing." In another comment, Dr. Stephanie Dork says, "Helen, grief and outrage palpable at weakness of Knack, with politicians seemingly unscathed, while whistleblowers, including Richard Boyle, face insane penalties for exposing alleged corruption. No progress at all, yet towards a better, fairer nation. Hugely disappointing failure." In another comment, Bronwyn Clark says, "No, we have a secretive body which has held literally no one to account. Let those responsible for Robo-Debt off the hook completely. Not quite what we voted for." In another comment by Shez, she says, "Unfortunately, all we have seen is a refusal to address any of the copious, well-evidenced incidents of corruption by Scott Morrison. The refusal by Knack to investigate and charge anyone over Robo-Debt is a corrupt act by Brereton himself. Dreyfus made Knack a sham." Now I go on to say in the article, Helen Haines needs to face up to the fact that the Knack is a total failure and an embarrassment. And it's not a mistake it's like that, because Prime Minister Anthony Albanese did a dirty deal with Peter Dutton to make sure the Knack covered up more corruption than it would ever expose. But it's not all bad. Federal Independent MP Monique Ryan isn't copying any crap and sent the below letter, which she published on social media, to Federal Attorney General Mark Dreyfus. Monique Ryan asked Mr. Dreyfus what he is going to do about the Robo-Debt cover-up by the Knack, which puts him in a difficult position given he engineered the Knack to cover up corruption. And I've got a copy of the letter there, so you can go to the article and you can read that letter. And I finish off the article by saying, I'm a big supporter of independent politicians, and we need many more in federal government. But that does not mean they won't be called out if they promote government propaganda, which Helen Haines has done above. Helen Haines says above she is proud to continue this work as Deputy Chair of the Knack Oversight Committee. Maybe Helen Haines should quit the Deputy Chair of the Knack Oversight Committee position and start speaking the truth about the Knack failing instead of promoting the government's propaganda. I hope Helen Haines will get it right, but she has been put on notice, not just by me, but by also the many people who commented on her social media post above, that we won't tolerate propaganda and or lies about how good the Knack is doing. The Knack needs to be fixed and fixed fast. Otherwise, it'll become even more of a national joke than it already is. I'll put a link to that article below the video on YouTube, so you can click on that link and go to the article and click on all the other links in the article. And so there's a lot more information. And make sure you share this video on social media, and please hit the like and subscribe button. And Kangaroo Court of Australia is independent media. I publish a website and a YouTube channel, and I'm 100% crowdfunded from viewers like yourself. So please support my Patreon account. I currently have 429 supporters donating $2,385 a month. And you can donate any amount, $3, $5, $10, $15, $20, $30, $40, $50 a month, whatever suits your budget. It all helps out in a big way. And the link for the Patreon account will be below this video on YouTube and also on my website. Other than that, thank you for your time and have a good day.